Good morning, friends. Welcome to After GMS. We just went live here on the WFMY News 2 Facebook page. So as you are hopping on and joining our conversations, we are going to catch you up on all the things happening in your forecast and your headlines. But for now, some introductions. I'm Megan Malaris with Stacey Spivey and Ed Matthews.
And now we can take a look at the weather because, I mean, look at these sky cams. It looks like a clear blue sky this morning, everything looking really beautiful, kind of like the calm after all the craziness this weekend, Ed.
That's right, quiet weather, we like that, and we like dry weather as well. We've had a good bit of rain recently. You know, we're about 4.5 inches above normal in rainfall for the year. A couple of dry days today and tomorrow, a little breezy, cool, and low 60s today, a little bit below our normal of 65. We'll go into the upper 60s as we start to see some high-level clouds build in on Tuesday afternoon, but still a nice day. Wednesday, a cold front moves through. That'll bring some showers for Wednesday and Wednesday night. The showers will move out real early on Thursday. The sky will clear, the winds will pick up, and colder air starts to pour into the Piedmont. Look at those highs on Thursday and Friday, only into the lower 50s. Friday morning, I'm forecasting a low of 27 and probably around 29 or 30 on Saturday morning, but it warms up quickly. Oh, Easter Sunday looking great. Dry weather and highs approach 70.
All right, Ed, thank you. Sorry, I'm just typing in, trying to get involved in one of the conversations here on our stream, but we want to go ahead and get you involved in our first conversation. Our state, as you know, wrapped up its first weekend with new ease restrictions, green lighted by Governor Roy Cooper last week. And we want to know if you took advantage of these ease restrictions or if you stayed at home to play it safe. So go ahead and let us know in the comment section below. But some of you already responded. Bobby wrote that he went to Natty Green Saturday and ate lunch inside. He knows more people out, and there was a lot of people there, but everyone was maintaining social distancing and wearing masks. He said he felt really comfortable eating there. But another viewer wrote, it is too soon to be opening up at 100%. We still don't know how the new strains of the coronavirus are going to affect us. Another person says they went to Texas Roadhouse for their daughter's 18th birthday, and it was a 3-hour wait. They tailgated in their cars for the occasion. And then Linda adds she will limit her outings. Her rule of thumb is if she enters a place and feels that there are too many people, she'll simply turn around and leave. I really liked that rule of thumb. You know, as you go out and you start trying to ease back into things, if you see something a place is really crowded, you don't have to go in. As I mentioned this morning and yesterday morning, took advantage of some of the ease restrictions and went and got my nails done for the first time in almost a year. I was thinking about it. It was last summer, the last time I stepped foot into a nail salon, but I was so impressed by how they handled everything. They had the plastic barriers up. Everyone was wearing a mask. Everyone was social distance as well. So I think that they did a really good job, and I felt actually comfortable going in there. And then of course I was comfortable because somebody was massaging my feet, which have been a little swollen as of late.
Sounds like some awesome pampering, and you deserve it, Mama, to be. Take advantage of all that right now. Yeah, nail salons, by the way, are among the businesses that are allowed to reopen under this new executive order at 100% capacity if they choose. Some, of course, are not going that route yet. Others are easing into it. Some say, okay, we have these precautions in place. Let's go ahead and open it up to full service as needed. So a variety of comments here coming in from those of you who are out and about. While we get some more going here on our feed, I'll tell you what I did this weekend. Friday, late afternoon, we got out and about a little bit. Saw a lot of people enjoying the beautiful weather on Friday, which was great because Saturday's weather was a little iffier depending on where in the triad you were. But it was hard to gauge whether more people were out and about because it was so nice or because they were out and about because the businesses had expanded capacity under the new executive order. I think all that might become more apparent in this week ahead as we get farther into this new normal, so to say. But I'm just glad to see people enjoying the opportunities that are out there, benefiting these local businesses while continuing to stay safe. I noticed mask use continuing to be in place, social distancing still being applied. So all that is great because we're not out of the woods, so to say, yet in this fight against COVID-19.
Yeah, and Ed, we had mentioned this yesterday about how we've noticed more cars on the streets out there.
Oh yeah. I've been out to eat twice in about the past 10 days. And that's a big deal because, during, most of the pandemic, really ordering out or just cooking at home because I love to cook. But, I'm excited to see more energy and more people in downtown Greensboro. And I'm sure this is happening in High Point, Winston-Salem, and all of our other communities. People are getting out, they're going to these restaurants more and more, and these restaurants are hopefully going to survive financially. Still being careful, still wearing a mask. Most of my friends not getting together person to person. But as I mentioned on the Good Morning Show, I'm excited because I get my second shot coming up this Thursday over at Four Seasons, the drive-through. So I'm excited about that. I'm going to wait about 3 weeks after the second shot and let my immune system get charged up. And then I'm going to get out and about more and more, but still probably wearing the mask. I don't know. The mask for me may just be a part of my life moving forward. I'm not so sure. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I'm like you, get my second dose of the vaccine this week, and then obviously I'm going to wait the 2 weeks as recommended by the CDC before I start seeing friends or doing things that I was used to doing prior to the pandemic. And I think I'm going to ease into it like Ed is planning to do. It's just hard, to feel like, okay, wait, now I can do all these things when for the past year I've been so cautious. And so it's just kind of, I think, going to be a balancing act in deciding what you and your family situation is comfortable with as we move ahead.
Yeah, and Megan had mentioned this in the stream, but do be mindful that the mask mandate is still in place in our state. But a lot of people really didn't seem like they did a lot this weekend. As you're commenting on the feed, let's see. Charlotte did say it is great to see more people out and about, but they need to wear the mask, as we had just mentioned. But somebody earlier, let me scroll up to find it. Altrice Richmond said too soon for people to be going without a mask. They say that they saw a family of 5 without them and felt very uncomfortable at their job. I would too. Let's see, trying to find more comments. I know a lot of people have been weighing in, saying that they hadn't really done much.
Yeah, but Jo saw more people at work. She said her work was busier. It made the time go by faster. So that's great. I think evidence that the times are starting to change. Charlotte said it is great to see more people out and about, but they need to wear a mask like we've been emphasizing.
Yeah, so Walter said that they stayed at home. So did Joanne. They didn't go anywhere. She said way past the party age, rested and read. I think I'm to that point too. Alicia said though she went four-wheeling with her husband and her kiddos, and Jason refereed a high school football game. So some outdoor fun activities as well.
All right, a lot of great ideas too, especially because Guilford County Schools is on spring break this week. For many families who are staycationing, they're looking for some fun and family-safe activities to do with the kids. You can keep commenting on this. Next conversation, Stacey, we're talking about favorite children's books.
Yes, that's right. In honor of a legendary author. We'll explain that coming up, but go ahead and start letting us know your favorite children's book or your favorite author.
And while you do that, let's take a look at our morning headlines. We have a lot to cover here. We'll start with COVID vaccinations in North Carolina. They are expanding as more people become eligible for the shots and as the state clinics get more supplies. 2.7 million people have had the first of 2 doses. A little more than half that number have had both doses. Remember, the Johnson & Johnson vaccine requires only 1 shot. About 116,000 people have received that. Overall, nearly 16% of our state's total population is fully vaccinated. Guilford County is opening up more appointments today. You can call 336-641-7944, choose option 2, or go to healthyguilford.com. Appointment slots will open in just a few minutes at 8 a.m. The Forsyth County Health Department has appointments open right now. They are scheduling appointments for the Pfizer vaccines, which again require 2 doses 3 weeks apart. You can schedule your first appointment online to get your shot at the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds. Those openings are for Wednesday and Thursday this week. More North Carolina college students will soon join those numbers as they become eligible for the vaccine in 2 days. Wednesday, the remainder of Group 4 can schedule appointments anywhere in our state, which includes college students. Universities are still considering whether to require the vaccine.
Well, let's go ahead and get to our next conversation. This morning, the world is remembering a literary icon, Ramona Ambesis. Author Beverly Cleary is no longer with us. In her honor, we want to know, what's your favorite childhood book or maybe author? And while you think of your answers and type below in the comments section, I'll tell you more about her. So children's author Beverly Cleary died at the age of 104 over the weekend. Her life started as a librarian before she started writing books in her 30s. Characters like Henry Huggins and Ramona Ambesis were hits with Cleary, writing more than 30 books in her career. So let's take a look at some of your favorite childhood books. Kim shared this comment with us, writing, Ramona the Pest was actually one of my favorite childhood favorites. And after my fourth grade teacher introduced it to the class during our after lunch story time, I then fell in love with the Beverly Cleary books and the antics they found themselves in. I often share this love of literacy with my students. Yeah, I remember reading all of her books whenever I was growing up. They were some of my favorites. And then there was, of course, the movie adaptation of Ramona Ambesis with Selena Gomez that I really enjoyed watching as well. But, I read so much. Having a teacher as a mother who was specifically a reading teacher, you got to believe that I had a lot of books in my life. But I think the ones that just still stick with me today, I started reading Harry Potter books. They came out when I think I was in 3rd grade. And I mean, still to this day, absolutely love all of those books. I kind of grew up with that series, the last one coming out, I believe, when I was in high school. So just went through the journey of the Harry Potter, and J.K. Rowling did an incredible job with those book series. And of course, now they have all the movies and they have the spin-offs and everything like that. But that's probably the biggest book from my childhood that I can think of, Megan.
Oh gosh, so many. I was trying to rack my brain, trying to think of one that particularly stuck out to me as a child. I remember loving Madeline, of course. That's a classic. I read it to my son now as well. And I loved the German fairy tale, Rumpelstiltskin. I don't know if you remember that one. That was one of my all-time favorites. I loved fairy tales, and so those really resonate with me still to this day. As for my son, he's only 15 months old, but he is obsessed with books, and I love that. He'll sit on your lap and wait for you to read him a book, and he wants to read it about 5 times in a row, which is amazing. He loves everything from Goodnight Moon to this book called Dear Zoo, where you open the little flaps of the animals and do the little peekaboo thing. I mean, I just love that he has a love for reading at such a young age, and I really hope that sticks with him throughout his adulthood, because as we know, reading is the key to succeeding in life. It really is.
Yeah, it is. Ed, I saw that you commented your favorite books on here, Old Yeller and Charlotte's Web.
Yeah, they're 2 classics, and both of those are very old books. Old Yeller is about a dog, I think a lab dog, and of course Charlotte's Web is about the relationship between a pig and a spider. And I just love those, but there are many more. I could probably list several dozen books that I enjoyed reading, and I still enjoy reading.
Oh yeah, I think a lot of times when I was growing up, for school purposes, you had to get all your points and do all the tests for reading. So reading wasn't so much an enjoyable thing, but now that I can choose the books that I want to read and really just go on adventures with them, and I will stay up all night. I really enjoy it so much more as an adult than I did as a child. But y'all are bringing me back all these memories from saying all your favorite books. The Hungry Caterpillar, of course, Joe said. Heather said that as well. That's a great classic. Carol said, my kids always love Goodnight Moon. I actually just ordered Baby Girl that book as well. Jason said Harold and the Purple Crayon.
Yes, I loved that one.
I don't think I read that, so I'll have to check that out. Oh, Where the Red Fern Grows. Oh, I boo-hooed when I read that. It's so sad at the end. Oh, goodness. And then Joe said, can't forget The Little Engine That Could.
Yeah, that's a great one. Did you know that's Dolly Parton's favorite book? That is the reason that for her program, the Imagination Library, which is her, I guess, U.S.-wide literacy program for children, where she sends free books to them every month. the first book she sends in that program is The Little Engine That Could, and that's because that was one of her all-time favorites when she was growing up. So just a little fun factoid that I learned over the years in researching that program.
Yeah, I definitely want to sign up Baylor for that whenever she gets here.
Yes.
I think it's an incredible program. Carol said, I read Bambi to my daughter so much she had the book memorized. That's so sweet. I love looking back on memories like this.
Yeah, and I was asked to read at a local elementary school the other day virtually. It was so much fun. I had several classrooms of third graders. Some of them were in person in their classrooms, and then others were learning remotely that day. And we did like a Microsoft Teams group where I read them a book and we talked about certain values and how they apply to the book. And we read Jumanji, which was really fun. They were super into that because before it was a movie, it was a book. And they just loved the story about these kids finding this board game and how, you know, all the characters in the board game come alive in their house. And it was just really cool to see how engaged they were. I was a little worried about how it would go. You know, I had never read a book over the internet before, and you know, you're dealing with young children, and so I could kind of put myself in the teacher's shoes, how they've been adapting and really how they have to be so animated to get the kids' attention and stay captivated throughout that reading. And so props to the teachers who have been doing this for months now, this method of learning. The kids are really benefiting from it. You know, it is what it is, this situation that we are in, and so just trying to make the best of that situation is all we can do.
Yeah, gosh, I miss Read to Succeed.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, Ed, I know you do as well.
Oh, I love that. And I am looking to the future when we can start that program again. It's just a lot of fun to go out and talk to the kids and tell them the importance of reading. And I'm always amazed at how much they really, really enjoy reading. So it's great.
Yeah, well, you talk about looking to the future. Let's go ahead and talk about the forecast because things are going to be really chilly by the end of the week.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
Goodness.
Yes, indeed. We're talking about taking care of the plants by, well, Friday and Saturday morning as we dip below freezing. But in the meantime, a couple of quiet, dry days. We like that, a little breezy and cool, low 60s today. We're in the upper 60s tomorrow. We'll bring in some rain showers Wednesday and Wednesday night. And then behind a cold front, it turns noticeably colder. Only into the low 50s Thursday and Friday, and you can see Friday morning I'm forecasting a low of 27 and probably around 29 or 30 on Saturday. Good news, it warms up just in time for Easter Sunday. Temperatures will be up pretty close to 70 on Sunday.
Perfect for those Easter egg hunts this weekend.
Yes, I'm excited about that for sure. Thanks so much for starting your week with us here on the Good Morning Show and on After GMS. We do this Facebook Live program at 7:45 every weekday on the WFMY Facebook page.
Thank you again for joining us. We hope you have a great rest of your day. Get out there and get to it.